Yo, welcome back. Lateness is greatness. You already know what time it is. It's time for London's clubs, Carnage. And listen, it doesn't get any better than this, right? Game week, win under the belt in the Prem, win in the Champions League before we even touched this show. I was getting all excited, you know what I mean? Had a bit of apple juice last night, so I'm happy. Do you know what I mean? Lee knows what I'm talking about when I say apple juice. The code, the YouTube code as it is. Actually, Lee don't really use the code. He don't care like that.
Man, I'm just raggo with it, bruv. Stella FC. Stella should sponsor me.
I just use the code of apple juice, just the YouTube God to be watching me. But Corey, first of all, how you doing, bro? Obviously, another great weekend for you. Do you know what I mean? London is claret and blue, as you say.
Yeah, no, I can't take it anymore, mate. Three goals up and conceding 2 and 3 goals in the last 3 weeks is starting to play havoc with me. I'm just hoping we've got an easy one against Newcastle. But yeah, mate, sweet. Getting that win, top 4 still. So it looks like it's going to go down to the wire.
Yeah, 2 spots open now with Leicester after what you did to them. So brilliant stuff. I think really a lot of people will say, you know, we want Leicester to win so we can have West Ham behind us as Chelsea fans. To be honest, I look at it now, 2 spots open. I'm actually, if anything, a bit more confident than I was. Tobi, bro, not the greatest of weekends for you. How are you? Are you good?
I'm good, man. I didn't predict a positive result. So when you come to realization that this is your team's base level now, then it sort of it helps take the results in, because you're not really too surprised by the disappointment, and you can sort of brush it off.
All right. And Lee, listen, liquid football over the weekend, you know, big win.
Yeah,
Put your hands up if you collected 3 points at the weekend.
It's a rough one for Tobs. It's a rough one.
Yeah, man even nudged the show back an hour, bruv. He was shook.
Do you know what it is with Tobi, yeah? He's starting to not want to, like, the thing is with Tobi, I know this feeling, because when you're a content creator, sometimes you don't want to talk about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've just lost again, or you've had another dead game. You just want to go and do your own thing in the real world. You ain't got time to want to make content. I can just see the way the words are being typed out on Twitter now with the link. Brother don't really want to have to put that out again.
You don't listen, like, honestly, the one positive to come out of us being dumped out disgracefully by Zagreb is I don't have to talk about this team twice a week when it comes to matches now. I only have to talk about them once. It's beautiful, because I'm sick to death of repeating myself over and over again, watching this dross week in, week out. It's a blessing that we only have to watch this team once a week these days. It's a blessing.
Listen, I think there is only one place to start. I think I'll start with that West Ham game, because it was a thriller again. And Jesse Lingard is on fire. And I'm seeing, we was just speaking about off-air links to PSG and, you know, obviously back to Man United, Arsenal, and all these other teams on ESPN for Lingard. Corey, are you gonna what is it gonna take for you guys to actually keep this guy? Because he's looking like hot prospect in world football now. Could be going to the Euros. Things are looking up for Jesse.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? Because he's got a year left on his deal. So I said, look, I would have said before about 20 mil, maybe 15. Now I'm sort of edging towards 25, 30. Again, I've always said that clubs will come in for him, like particularly with the way that he's playing. And that's going to be the biggest problem. I think West Ham, I know we're a bit skint, but we can afford bringing him in. It's just whether he wants to stay or not. But to be fair, like from all accounts, he's settled nicely, got a good relationship with Declan Rice and Mark Noble. So that's a big thing as well. Gets on with the manager. So everything's in our favour, but I think for Declan and for Jesse going to that Euros, if they step up, then there's going to be so many clubs swimming around. So it's going to be a tough one, mate. But if we get Champions League football, again, you know, he'll want to stay at least for another year or whatever. So yeah, loads to look forward to. But it's a tough one, mate. He's playing out his skin at the minute. He's different class. Yeah,
I was going to say that. Probably him actually steering you to Champions League football might actually be how you get him in the first place. It's going to be a huge factor, obviously. Lee, I mean, if you was Jesse Lingard, would you stay there? How do you think he's weighing it up in his head? Because he's having the form of his life there. So at that point, do you just stay where you are and not change what's not broken?
Yeah. If I was him, I would stay there. Like, listen, he's having some mad upturn in form, bruv. Like, but listen, we've always known he's a good footballer. Yeah, technically he's pretty decent. He's quicker than I thought he was. Like when I see him bursting away from about 5 Wolves players the other day, I was like, "What is that quick?"
It's like he's had the battery shoved up his ass.
Do you know what I mean? Man's running on double Duracells right now. But not only that, Corey just said about like there's a few English players there as well that he obviously knows, he gets on with. The manager trusts in him. You can see that when he's grabbing hold of him the other day and saying how brilliant he is when they're walking off the pitch. So he probably feels loved. Whereas at Man United, yes, it's a bigger football club. He won't get a look in. He won't even make a match day squad. So the fact he's only got a year left, Man United are going to try and milk about 30 million. It's like if West Ham do get Champions League, it pays for itself straight away. Yeah, because the money they'll make by qualifying. So, or just getting into the original, like the first knockout stages to get into the thing proper. But yeah, man, he's smashing it. I really hope West Ham do get top 4. I can't lie. Yeah, because he got the job the same time as Arteta got our job.
It just strengthens your argument against the
in the mud if they get top 4, bro. But no, I'd stay there if I was him. I'd stay there.
Yeah, I'm going to get into the statistics of the game because I think Corey will agree it was a bit of a freak game in terms of the way it all panned out. But Tobs, what do you make of the whole thing? I mean, obviously, you probably would rule yourself out of top 4. But you definitely would probably after this weekend. What do you make of? I mean, Tottenham, West Ham, is there a rivalry there? You've had some great games in the past, 4-4s at Upton Park and all these things. Would you say that them making top 4 would piss you off, or is that one of the teams that you pick because of maybe Chelsea and all these other clubs?
Them making top 4 would definitely piss me off. There is a rivalry, but it's more on. There is a rivalry, but it's more on their end than ours. I think we're just the hated team in London. Like, we have a deep rivalry with Arsenal. We have a deep rivalry with Chelsea. And now, of course, we have a deep rivalry with West Ham. But to be honest, it's more one-sided, that relationship. They hate us because they're normally in our shadows. But this year is different. This year is different. This year they're performing better with an inferior squad. And as far as Champions League is concerned, you know what? I'd even want them to you know what? Initially, I said, nah, I don't want them to get Champions League. But then I thought, would I rather see West Ham in the Champions League or Chelsea in the Champions League? My answer is yes. Would I rather see West Ham in the Champions League than Liverpool in the Champions League? My answer is yes. So if one or both of the traditional top 4 or big 6 teams, however you're going to call it, miss out along with us, I'll be happy. I'll be happy because guess what's going to happen? They're going to get into the Champions League and they're going to get bounced by every single team in there. They're going to get beaten by FC Midtjylland. They're going to get beaten by what's the other teams in there?
You'll be in the Europa Conference. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we will. We'll be in the Europa Conference, and you're not going to win a single group game. You won't even get out of the group stage.
Mate, I don't care.
Do you think so?
I don't care.
They're not getting out of the group stage. Really? You think West Ham? You think West Ham will
win a game though?
We'll give it a much better go than Spurs have. Trust me. I'll tell you what. Look at our starting 11s. There's a few players I take from Tottenham, and other than that, I think there's so many West Ham players I'll have over them at the minute. So I think we'll give a good stab at it.
You can say what you want. That's the first 11. That's not the squad. In the Champions League, you need a squad. Yeah,
100%. 100%.
You need a squad, and for me, it depends on the draw. Innit? It's the luck of the draw. So they're going to be if they qualify for the Champions League, their coefficient ranking is going to be low as fuck. They're going to be one of the they're going to be one of the weakest. They're going to be one of the weakest clubs in the competition. And you know what happens to one of the weakest clubs in the competition? They get drawn in one of the toughest groups. So you can imagine them being in a group of Bayern, Napoli, and whatever. They're going to.
But that's what West Ham
we don't
want.
care.
We don't care.
That's what I'm saying. They want. That's what I'm saying. They want the fun. They want the fun nights out in Europe. Web COVID permitting, they want that experience. I get that, cool. But what I'm saying is, I would rather see that happen because then they're going to need to make their squad stretch for the group stage and compete in the Premier League.
You see, it's something that Leicester had to deal with as well. But Leicester got to the quarterfinals, so it can be done. I think they could win a game. I think you're maybe being a bit harsh there.
Yeah, I am being harsh, but I'm salty.
There's a reason Tottenham are hated by everyone, mate. That's
it. Expressions are flying.
Wait. Why are you saying that's harsh? The last time they qualified for Europe, what happened? What happened?
I don't know because I probably wasn't alive.
I'll tell you what happened. Until you remember what happened. They couldn't even get out Europa League. They couldn't even get out Europa League qualifiers. But man are telling me that I'm harsh for saying they might not win a game in the Premier European competition.
It's a long time ago.
We're much better than both times.
So do you think you had a better squad back now than you did back then? Be honest.
Definitely.
With Payet,
as an overall squad, we're much better.
Playing well, Mark Noble playing well.
Nah, we're much better.
Playing well. So you think your squad now is better?
100%. Yeah, 100%. Payet carried us. Payet carried us for a long time in that season. So we're much better overall.
I'd say ship Carlos Tevez back and Mascherano and get things cooking again. Do you know what I mean? For old fans' sake.
Leave it in the past, man.
Leave it in the past. Over the summer, I'm sure he'll be able to kick ball. Listen, as a Chelsea fan, if West Ham make it with us, no problem, bro. If West Ham make it with us, I wouldn't really be too angry. I would actually like to see it. I don't feel. Obviously, the games with West Ham are always difficult. I remember Olympic Park last season was wild for us under Lampard, but I don't feel any hatred there with West Ham. I definitely would be entertained by that. Obviously, I've seen Leicester in it before as well. I think you have got a squad to win a game. I think Toby's being a bit harsh, but you would have.
Of course he's gonna say that. He loves it. He wants it. But the funny thing is, Matisse, I honestly don't care. In my lifetime, West Ham in the Champions League, I promise you, we'll compete. We know we will with David Moyes. He's bang on about the squad. We need a proper squad going in, and the Champions League gives you enough money to go and strengthen. So get Tammy Abraham for what, 15 mil, 20 mil. And then I'm joking. I'm playing. I know. I've heard your stuff, but just a couple of decent signings in there. Keep the same first 11, and then we'll 100% do all right. And if we finish third, don't we drop into the Europa League anyway?
Yeah, you do.
So it's no big deal for us.
And by the way,
anyway.
Like you said, Champions League money as well. So. And it helps you attract. Do you know what it does? It helps you attract better players, and I feel like that will help you build a stronger foundation to be up here more regularly, which is what.
Well, that's the thing, mate. No one's under any disillusion at West Ham that we're going to stay top four or Lingard's going to perform like that for the next year or so if we keep him. Like, at the end of the day, we are going to dip, but you just feel with David Moyes we are going to be top 8 side or at least competing in and around there. And from where we were at a couple of years ago, that's all we want. We just want a squad that we like watching, give it a go in every single game like we did against Leicester. That's all we can ask, I know we've got an awfully run club, but that's all we want on the football pitch. Mark Noble's last season against Barcelona away in the Nou Camp. That's what it's about. That's what it's about, man. I'd love it.
Aaron Cresswell's scoring a free kick at the Nou Camp. It doesn't really get much better.
Oh, blinded.
Mate, Lenny scored at the Nou Camp, mate. Anything's possible.
There you go.
Speaking of Arsenal, just to quickly drag them into the conversation, just because why not drag Arsenal when you can, Lee?
Why not?
How long has it been since you guys were in the Champions League now? Because if West Ham were to make it, that would be alarming for me.
The last time we played the Champions League game, we got piped 5-1 by Bayern Munich.
Oh, it was that one. Oh,
First time in a row, 3 years in a row, 3 games in a row, we lost 5-1 to them. That was the third game. That was the last ever game we played in Champions League.
You might have seen my twin brother there, Lee, because he went with my one of my housemates now, Dan, who does touchy gooness for Touchline. They both went to that game and they saw you lot get bopped 5-1. It was brilliant.
What year was that?
That was
2017,
16, 17,
17. Yeah.
AFT was it's lovely back then.
Bro, it was prime. I can't lie, it was prime time, bro.
I had the popcorn out waiting. It's one of those ones.
Honestly, like, bro, me as an Arsenal fan, I'm sitting there thinking, like, obviously tomorrow we've got Slavia Prague. Didn't we have a bet on that, Toby?
You did.
Did we? No, we didn't.
No,
yeah,
wait.
We did.
No.
We had a bet that Spurs wouldn't beat Man City.
Yeah,
okay, that was it. Okay, fair enough. Spurs,
I'm gonna make sure I roll the clip just before the cup final.
Cup final. But no, honestly, sitting back, like, tomorrow is massive, and Aubameyang's not trained until today. Martin Odegaard's not trained until today. He's just done his press conference a couple of hours ago, and he said that they didn't train yesterday because the weather weren't great. Like, what?
Are you taking the piss?
That's straight up. Seriously, straight up. He said Odegaard and Aubameyang didn't train, but the weather's better today, so hopefully they can train today. What, can't they train in the cold? I know Aubameyang's had a cold apparently. We can't even, if he's going to be going out into Czech Republic, bruv, to play a football match, and surely he can train in the rain.
There has to be more context than that, Lee. Surely,
bro. That's what he said. I swear that's what he said. I'm gonna get the quote up. That's what he said.
Just get a hot water bottle or something, strap it to your chest. I don't know, man. There has to be more context to just it was cold outside. That's right, something that you'd hear in the under sevens, like Sunday league football. Listen, mate, I'm staying at home. It's cold outside. I won't be at training today. Do you know what I mean?
I swear that's what he said.
Right, I'm going to find it or some shit.
But no, honestly, real talk, yeah? Oh, here we go. This is what he said. On whether Aubameyang and Odegaard will train today. He said, depending on how they wake up. If they wake up better, then yes. Yesterday, neither of them could train. Hopefully today, it's a sunnier day, so maybe it's better for them.
I can't believe you said that, man.
No, this is our manager. He's just a clown. Oh. Yeah, what, they can't train in the rain or the cold? Like, do you know what I mean? Well, why are we paying you $375 a week then, mate? Yeah, this is another Ozil, bro. I'm telling you. But no, look. Well, I'm getting close to that point. I'm getting very close to that point.
He doesn't seem integral anymore. We spoke about on the Big Six where he doesn't seem like an integral part of the team. Build-up play wise, he's not really of much use to you unless he's in front of goal. He's not going to help too much in terms of creating opportunities. So he's not a must starter. For someone that you just gave a new contract to that's earning that type of money to not be a must starter.
Under this manager, yeah. Under Unai Emery, he played on the left side quite a lot, but he was able to run in because Laka drops in deep and then he could run into the space behind. Yeah, with this manager, he tells him, stay left wing. Like, so it's like, in half of the games, he's playing left wing back. Yeah, it's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. Yeah, so I can kind of see why he's pissed off because I think he has got the ump. Like he's said in a couple of interviews this season that he's helping the team out by playing there. So obviously he wants to play out front, isn't it? Yeah. So I don't think he's happy, but bruv, I just want the season to end. Yeah, and if we get knocked out tomorrow, then cool.
Like, me and Corey, I ain't loving the season. You guys,
keep going, man. Keep going.
Keep it going. Keep cooking them. Keep cooking them.
Yeah.
Do you know what's mad? Yeah, if you're trusting the process, right? Which process do you trust, the Aubameyang one or the Arteta one? Because if they're not on the same page, it sounds like he's playing left wing, kind of like how Timo Werner was at the start of the season under Lampard. It's not suiting him, the system. He can't get the opportunities that he wants in terms of running behind, like you said, off the left wing. Kind of maybe needs to be used how Liverpool used their wingers inverted and coming in for chances. Then who are we picking here? Because one's on a stupid amount of money and is captain of the football club, and the other person's the manager that everybody's believing in. So which one are we going with?
Well, if you don't want Aubameyang, if Aubameyang don't want to leave the football club, you can't force him out, really, can you? You can say he ain't playing. Who cares? He's on $375 a week. Yeah, you can sack a manager, pay him off. Yeah, so it's easier. It's always easier to sack one manager than it is to sack one or multiple players, because you'd have to pay the players off if you want to terminate their contracts, same as you would have to with Arteta. But Arteta's on 3 times less money. Which I've never understood how a player can earn more than the manager. I just don't get that. I think that's stupid. Yes, there's some players that are exception to the rule, but the manager should be the highest paid person at the football club. Yeah, because he's the manager.
With player wages these days, it's just never going to happen.
That's the problem, though, isn't it? The way the counterbalance, it's gone from one to the other real quick with the players, isn't it? So you can't really do that anymore. But bruv, I don't know. Like, you know, I've seen all week on Twitter the hype for Granit Xhaka. Like, turn it in, mate. Yeah, because they didn't open mic and he was captain without the armband. Fuck off, man. The geezer's shit. He is one of the worst midfielders I have ever seen. Yeah, literally one of the worst I've ever seen at Arsenal. And we've had some bad ones, Frimpong and all them ones down the years, bruv, yeah? But, like, honestly, like, he must have been so confused at the weekend, Xhaka, because he was playing left back, right? So he must have been looking behind him thinking, well, there's no one to pass to. Like, where do I go now? Like, but I don't know, man. Like, I'm just sick and tired of this football club, if I'm honest. It's just like we won against Sheffield United. Whoopee! You know, people were coming in my chat and my watch, and I'm saying you'd think that Arsenal had lost the way this guy's talking. Well, am I supposed to get the party poppers and the bunting out? They're bottom of the league. Yeah, I expect to wallop them. Yeah, now I've seen the form tables go out, and the last 6 games we're 4th. Yeah, go and have a look at the teams we've played. Yeah, I expect to batter every single one of them. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? It's like, come to me if we're top of the table then you're looking at form guides. The fact is, the form guide is the 31 games that we've played, not 6 games that you've just chosen. Yeah, or 5 games at Christmas or whatever. We're 9th for a reason, and that's because of this manager. And he doesn't know his best 11. Leno even said in his part of the press conference today that they said, what do you make on the players making individual mistakes in front of you? He said, well, it's kind of difficult when you've got a different defense every week.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Like, wow. Yeah, and then and I don't know, man. The whole club's rotten. The fans are accepting it. There's not a single massive, and I mean massive, account out there like 200k plus on Insta, Twitter, YouTube. Not a single one of them massive accounts is Arteta out. Why?
Well,
Why?
just troops, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, just troops. That's the only one. The rest of them, all the big accounts on Insta, Arteta in. All the big accounts on Twitter, Arteta in. Why?
Maybe there's just a little payment going under the table.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, then, bro,
You know
there must be. The law of averages says that there'd be a handful of these accounts because there's a lot of them that would be Arteta out, but they're not.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you're right. You have a point, though. Maybe, like you said, like Matisse is alluding to. I'm guessing a lot of them probably have links with the club, and for some reason that we only, they'll never tell the truth. They'll tell the truth according to the club. That makes sense.
Yeah, the Queen's cash is a strong commodity, people. You know what I mean? Just slip that under the table. Do you know what I mean? Just a little.
I just think as well, Lee, as well. Like sometimes I see stuff because I follow a lot of Arsenal fans, and sometimes I see the nonsense that they have to quote tweet and rebuttal and stuff because, like, I know there's deluded fan bases, but my goodness, your bunch are next level. Some of the shit that I see them say about players, managers, it's embarrassing. It's absolutely. Sometimes I even have to resist the urge to not quote tweet them and like ask them like, what are you playing at here with what you're saying? Because what you're saying doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. The other day I saw someone. Because my mate was quote tweeting. Asking like, why have you written this down? And it was an Arsenal fan saying that Granit Xhaka should have never been stripped of the captaincy. And I was like, what? So
where does that come from?
There's an account on Twitter. He's got over 170,000 followers. Yeah,
I already know you're gonna talk.
Is it Patrick?
No, not him. Not him. It's a different one. Yeah, he set up his own YouTube channel and got 600 subs. Well, where you have 160,000 people? Then,
I know who you're talking about.
Who is it?
And this is
it's like LT Arsenal.
That's him, yeah. And he's put a tweet out saying that open mic Granit Xhaka video is so good. The captaincy might have been taken away from him, but his leadership remains. Arsenal Fan TV have took a screen grab of that, put a picture of Granit Xhaka underneath it, yeah, and then tweeted that out, put it out on their Instagram to 1 million people. Like, come on, mate, seriously. Like, so you've now just put that out to 1 million people on Insta, 500,000 on Twitter. You've put it probably on your Facebook. Not that I've checked. There's probably 500,000 or more on there. He's put it out on his. That's now nearly 2 million people that could potentially see that. And if you follow these accounts, yeah, you might think, well, actually, if everyone's putting this out there, like maybe it's true. Like, come on.
You better build your house quickly, Lee, to dethrone.
Bro, it's embarrassing. None of these people say it as it is, mate. None of them. Yeah, and I, like I said, none of these accounts are Arteta out. Why? We're 9th in the table. We've had our worst season for as long as I can remember, probably back to the 80s. Yeah, and he's knocked us out of every cup competition by February, and we're hanging on by the skin of our teeth, hoping that we can go to Prague to get through to a semi-final of the Europa League. And nobody's questioning this. Oh, but if he gets summer funding, if he gets this, if he gets that. This was supposed to be a coach, by the way, that was one of the best young coaches in Europe, yeah? So why ain't he making our players better then? Yeah, because what? Everything has to be perfect for this manager, for the manager to succeed. No, go and learn your trade at Cadiz, yeah? And come back when you're any good, mate. Because, in fact, not even Cadiz, bruv, Tenerife. Yeah, go and learn at Tenerife or somewhere, bruv. Yeah, because he ain't good enough. And the fact is, like, people just, like, more and more people are turning. Yeah, I've seen a lot more people. I can see
it in the chat. Usually we be getting cooked right now, but everybody
seems
to be in agreement today.
And the people that I see that were cussing me when I first said it and said I ain't backing him when he first got the job, I said I refused to back him. I ain't backing him. I'll put it on Twitter. Yeah. Literally, I think I had about 2,000 replies, and I think 1,990 were just cussing me. Yeah. Well, what are they saying now? Because I guarantee they're the same as me now, isn't it?
This feels very similar to Rants, because I do a weekly show with him, and he was getting a lot of flack from United fans at the beginning of the Ollie out brigade train. But yeah, you're getting a decent amount of love now. So
This
listen,
is the
if
thing
you
though,
lose
lads,
to
right?
Slavia Prague and he's still in charge,
mate.
me and Toby have already said it on Big Six, I'd be shocked. And we tried to pull an answer out of Big Steven Grizz. I personally, I think I've said this before. I feel like they're actually just so unthreatened by Arsenal, but they're not even looking at Arsenal as a big club anymore. So they're just okay with Arsenal.
They're basically saying he can do whatever he wants. He can do whatever he wants there. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you know when your next door neighbor just like, you don't like him and just struggling with the shopping on the way to the door, you're like, I won't really help you. Do you know what I mean? You'll find a way. You'll be fine. real world is pissing down with rain and they can't carry the shopping. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to work out.
If we don't get through tomorrow, I expect him sacked on Friday, but he won't be sacked on Friday. You know what happened?
There'll be a new kid coming out on the website.
The Arsenal PR team will drop his new contract announcement on Friday once we get.
They'll drop a new training kit.
Yeah, a new training kit.
Yeah.
Another
thing. Balogun signed a new contract, right? This was the same football club propaganda that was coming out from the journalists and all these big accounts that he's demanding 100 grand a week and he's not worth that. He's not played a Premier League game. By the way, I sat here and said I'd pay him 100 grand a week. Yeah, because I think like if we're paying Willian, if we're paying and other players what they're paying, why not take a punt on him? Sell Nketiah to pay for his contract. Yeah, so now all of a sudden he's signing a new contract. So all the people that cussed Balogun and abused him on his Twitter posts, saying he's a greedy bastard and this and that, now he's signing and it's not 100 grand a week. Are they all going to go and apologise? Are they going to wake up to the PR from the club journalist that peddled that crap out there in their articles saying he's on wants 100 grand a week, he's refusing to sign? It was never about 100 grand a week. It was about playing time. And he must have been looking at Eddie Nketiah thinking, well, I'm better than you. Yeah, and you're getting games. Yeah. So, this is just one big circle, a merry-go-round of PR. And there's so many accounts sitting on social media these days that are more interested in not being disliked, than actually saying the truth. Yeah, I couldn't give a shit if people hate me, mate. I've got friends. Yeah, I don't need to make friends with people I don't know online. You three are all right, I can't lie.
I was taking shots there. Everybody else just gets up and leaves.
No, I mean, but it just winds me up, man. And it's frustrating because when you're fighting a one-man cause from day one of this manager coming in and you're just getting pelters every day, then he goes and flukes the FA Cup. And that day, I swear, I had more comments on a watch-along after the watch-along had finished than I think I did whilst it was on. Yeah, like just people go, see, you're making you eat your words now. I could have easily flipped and flopped and said, okay, I trust the process. I didn't. I said, yeah, great win, but he ain't fooling me, mate. Yeah, and I stuck to it because I fully believed he weren't good enough. I knew he wouldn't be good enough. I knew he was arrogant. I knew that we would slide down the table. When he got the job, we were 8th, 8 points off Chelsea in 4th. Yeah, so yeah, I think we were 8th point. No, we were 10th. I think when he got the job, but we were 8 points off 4th. We finished 9 points off 4th. Yeah, then he took the whole season this season. Yeah, and we're 10th, well 9th or whatever it is now, and he's taken us backwards. Yeah, we've lost to so many random teams this season, bruv. He's played Aston Villa 3 times, not got a point.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, we've played Wolves 3 times, he's got 3 points. We've played Burnley 3 times, he's got 2 points. Burnley, yeah, like Burnley 2 points against fucking Brexit FC in 3 games. That's a joke. Yeah, but then people go, oh yeah, but he hasn't had a pre-season. Well, neither's David Moyes, neither's Ancelotti. Yeah, they all got the job in the same week. Or the same 2 weeks. Yeah, Jose got the job a couple of weeks before him. Yeah, like I know.
Yeah, you say Jose, it will trigger Toby off.
Well, no, but if you look, 3 of our managers got the job in pretty much the same 3-week window. Yeah, both of them are above Arsenal. Both of them. Yeah. Yes, we've won an FA Cup. They might still win the League Cup. You might still get in Champions League. Yeah, but the fact and reality is, David Moyes is punching above his weight with that club. Yeah, with that team. Yeah, Jose. Okay, cool. Yeah, Tobs can say like he's doing shit. He's still got you to a final for now, and you still might qualify for Champions League. It's a long shot, but you might. Yeah. So end of the season, you can weigh it up. Yeah, we've gone backwards. Yes, we've won a cup. Whoopee, but I've seen us win the cup 9 fucking times. I want to win the league.
You won't be getting that this season, to be
fair. Your manager very quickly, I'll let everyone else crack on. Yeah? Your manager very quickly, said this in his press conference the other day. Yeah, he was standing on the pitch, in Sevilla, He was standing on the pitch. I'll pull it out there. I quote tweeted it. Yeah, where is it? There it is. Thomas Tuchel, I'm here to win games and titles. I don't want to talk about in 2 years, in 5 years. The time is now.
Yeah,
I quoted it. I put, see, you mean you won't be telling the fans to trust the process then, Tommy? That's not how it works, matey. Yeah.
As I said before, when Lampard was here, the process has stopping points and it has targets in between the years, right? You don't just go 3 years and write off and sign on the dotted line and whatever happens. There's checkpoints, and if you're not meeting your checkpoints, you get scrutinized, you get judged, you get criticized, and eventually, if you don't improve, you're out. I was watching Drive to Survive, which is obviously a completely different sport in Formula One, and they're checking their shit every week. They're checking their performance every week. And it's not like, oh, you signed a contract so you can drive my car any way which you want. And if you finish off the podium 5 times in a row, it's all fine. They're checking them every single week. That is what high level performance in sport is all about. It's about being at the top of your game all the time. But yeah, we're gonna move on from Arsenal because it's gonna be therapy otherwise for Lee. And I'm gonna round off back to Slavia Prague as well at the end of this. So and the chances of you actually getting through there. But obviously we can't speak about Europe with Toby Tottenham wise, so we'll go to PSG versus Bayern, which I know everybody was enjoying, so we'll touch upon that game. I didn't get to watch it, so I'm kind of hoping.
Of course, didn't, because you were stuck with that ball fest.
Yes, okay. Chelsea versus Porto in both legs wasn't the most entertaining thing I've ever seen. Obviously, last night we got through. We lost actually 1-0, but it was a bit of a freak goal at the end. So it was ridiculous. It was like Bale, Ronaldo
on both screens though. That's what I do when Spurs are.
I can't do it.
Spurs are playing, but a bigger match is on. I always do 2 screens. I have to.
Well, the way the living room is structured, I have to get up on a laptop. It'll probably be paused every 5 minutes because the Wi-Fi here is absolutely shocking, which everybody that watches my streams will know. But when Chelsea are on in the Champions League, I'm telling you, even if there was 2 screens up, I'm not taking my eyes off that game. There's no way. Like, I'm way too hooked. And there's actually no other big game.
It's terrible.
Yeah, there's no other big game in the Champions League that I could possibly.
Do you think Chelsea fans care, bro? They're in the semi-final of the Champions League.
Oh, literally nobody gives a shit.
Like, real talk, they're in the semis, bro. We're not. None of us lot are there, bro. Like, we're not even in the competition.
Yeah. Honestly, like it's one of those ones that it doesn't matter what game's on. There's no way I'm taking my eyes off that. We was defensively a bit more solid with Kante in there. Didn't concede as many shots as we did in the first leg. Lost a little bit of attacking impetus because obviously Kante final third passing missed a few tricks to Chilwell and Mason Mount, but job done in the end. Do you know what I mean? It was quite professional to see the shithousery from the team and get through under circumstances where Porto wanted to foul Pulisic alone 11 times, let alone the rest of the team. But talk to me, Toby, about that PSG Bayern game because I didn't get to see it. Everybody was saying both legs was a footballing masterclass in terms of
brilliant
unbelievable football.
Brilliant time, man. That's probably. I'm trying to think of ties that we had last year that were just as good, but that might be one of the best. That might be one of the best ties I've seen in a long, long time. That it was brilliant. The first leg was Bayern just onslaught, just throwing everything they could. PSG excellent counter-attacking football, and then the second leg it was Bayern still trying to muster up the necessary requirements to get through, but PSG were much more comfortable. Like they came, obviously they're at home. They had a free away goal, so they came out of their shell. They were playing, and what struck me the most is the high level of technical quality on the pitch at the same time from both sides. Like none of these players were struggling to trap a ball. Very few of these players were struggling to pass through the lines. Like whenever these players got the ball, their first thought wasn't to go backward. Their thought was always, how can I take this ball forward? And Neymar, the thing is, it's unfortunate because he missed like some big chances, which was annoying, but everything he did outside the box yesterday was unbelievable. Like this is why I can't entertain Lee's comparison to Neymar. I mean,
with Morris.
Because other than big man thing, other than Messi, there is no attacker in world football who is as good as Neymar. There is not.
I think he's the best footballer in the world right now.
He is unbelievable. When he's at full flight, dribbling, passing, playmaking, 1v1 situations, trickery, he's unbelievable. And the only thing that eluded him yesterday, which doesn't really elude him, is his finishing because he's usually clinical in front of goal. But he's quality, man. He's quality. And PSG, PSG, I don't even know how they didn't score. Like, they could have scored 3-4 goals yesterday as well. Bayern gave it a good go, but with the injuries, it was never really going to be a task that they would overturn, to be honest, because they were missing a lot of players. And the players they had on the pitch, they weren't really doing it, man.
But this is funny because PSG leaked a lot of chances in this game. And obviously, if Lewandowski would have been playing, it would have been a different story. But before I want to get Corey's opinion. Corey, did you get to watch that game as well?
Yeah, mate, it was sick.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Everybody was talking about Neymar, dropping a masterclass in terms of just footballing ability on the football pitch. And Lee, I have to circle back to you. Surely your opinion has changed on Mahrez being better than Neymar.
Bro,
it has to have.
Listen to me. It's personal preference. I prefer watching Mahrez. I don't know how many times I have to explain myself.
Who's the better?
Come on, Lee. Come on.
Right? Can I just say as well? Can I just say, Neymar was class last night, yeah? But do you know what? I thought Mbappe and Di Maria rolled back.
Di Maria, superb.
Yeah, brilliant, man. Apart from when he went down and everyone thought he broke his leg, and then a minute later the magic sprays out and he's up. Yeah, it's the quickest reattachment of a leg break I've ever seen. Like, he literally laid on the floor for about 5 minutes. I thought, he's done his leg here. And I watched the replay. I was like, get up, man. Yeah, but Di Maria, sick. Mbappe, man, like, that kid is just so fucking good. It is unreal.
Yeah.
And then Neymar was just dropping bodies last night. That one where he done that little Cruyff turn on the edge of the box and then curled it onto the bar. I thought it was it. Yeah, that was sick. The other one where he Mbappe, what a sick pass, man. You couldn't even see Neymar in the screen. Yeah, and Mbappe just squared it. I thought, right, 1-0, and he's just put it against the post. The one where he slid across the line, he potentially could have had that. He could have had 3 or 4 last night comfortably, but all 3 of them last night. And who's the centre back? What's his name? Danilo. Yeah, he was cold as well, bruv. Yeah,
do you know who else was really good? Like, I think he was probably the best player for Bayern Munich, Lucas Hernandez.
Yeah.
We spoke about him.
His best, because he had a bad injury last year because obviously he moved from Atleti to Bayern. He had a bad injury last year, so I'm happy he's getting back to his best because he is a proper player. Can do a job at left back, can do a job at centre back. He's a titan, man.
He's another French international, isn't it? They just have a way. They have enough. They have
nowhere I think that pops up though. Bayern Munich, yeah. Like, they played Sane on the right wing instead of left.
They usually do that, though, don't
They
they?
They do that because Kingsley
Thinker, man, he was shocking last night. Yeah.
But that's an anomaly. He's usually on the roll. He's
not been. Sane's not been at his influential best this season, and I feel like it's expected because he's obviously come back from that long-term injury. But I'm not gonna lie, I do think he is much more effective on the left because that was where he was at his devastating best for Man City. But at the same time, with Kingsley Coman, he's been okay. He's not an elite winger, but on form, he's probably been their best wide player this season. Gnabry's not really been hitting the heights he hit last season as well. So it's difficult for Hansi Flick to drop or justify shifting Kingsley Coman to the right hand side or dropping Kingsley Coman and playing Sane there. Even though, for me personally, Sane is the much better winger when he's at his best.
Full throttle.
Do you know what Martin Keown said in that game last night? And it summed up perfectly Leroy Sane at times. Yeah, he said he ain't gonna chase a ball that ain't perfect.
The mad thing about Sane was, if you go on a sofa score, it said Neymar got 5.9 and Sane got 8. And I was like, that's why you don't listen to stuff like that, because if you watch the game, people were saying, someone said, Neymar didn't have a great game, he missed loads of chances. I'm like, you're not getting what Neymar's role was in that type of game. I thought as well, on the topic of PSG, Idrissa Gueye and Paredes were unbelievable. Like, them keeping the ball defensively, like, absolutely solid. Like, I looked at that game and I thought, I didn't feel that Bayern were ever going to get, I know they did get a goal, but I didn't think they were going to win it because I thought PSG was so comfortable. And that's what Poch has done. Clever manager. And you've got a front three like that. Di Maria was different class. So I fancy him for the Champions League.
I was going to ask you, Corey, do you make them favourites after what you've seen? Because obviously I didn't get to see the game, so I have no idea the danger that lies potentially ahead on that side of the draw.
I think they've got a great chance. I think the thing is with City as well, there's something to do with their mentality in the Champions League where they didn't look great against Dortmund. I thought Dortmund did the best that they could with the players that they had. And you go up against the PSG side, Neymar and Mbappe with a bit between their teeth, and they're so clinical. I know Neymar isn't, but I kind of look at Neymar as a bit of a playmaker. But Mbappe, I think he was offside once, 1-on-1, and he just hits it in the roof of the net. And I'm like, honestly, if he's onside, you've got enough. They've got enough there to go and get 1-2
one where they flagged him offside, and he was actually about 3 yards onside, wasn't he? He was gone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was completely. Yeah.
And I was like, well, why didn't they put the flag up once he's gone and scored? Like they put it up straight away. They were doing it last night at certain times, putting it straight away. Then other times letting the play go, like for 20 seconds. Then putting it up. That one, he was 2 or 3 yards onside, clean through on goal. Yeah, and I was like, but no, you're right. Right,
PSG as well.
Big threat this season, Corey. Big threat this season because defensively, I think they look a lot more solid than they have done in other seasons in this competition. And them two in midfield, they were outstanding last night. And then when you've got Neymar dropping into the little half space in between, like Mbappe and then midfield, and then you got the pace of Mbappe, you got the trickery, and Di Maria's still quick. Yeah, he was doing little back flicks and everything last night. He was sick, man. And and the right back, what's the guy's name? I can't remember the right back.
Dagba.
First name is. I wet myself when that came up. He actually pocketed Coman last night, most of that game. Yeah, and I think they're a shout. I think if they get City, I think they'll do them.
I think it's for me, it's becoming increasingly like not clear, but I don't think the side that has Chelsea and Madrid are as strong as this side that has PSG, that had Bayern obviously before they got knocked out, that has Man City, etc. So I think whoever comes out of this side of Poch, Pep, is going to win the Champions League, because I think they'll have too much for whoever comes out of Matisse's side in Tuchel, and then obviously Madrid and Liverpool tonight. I think they'll have too much, man. And don't forget as well, that was PSG. And obviously, to be fair, we have to be fair. Bayern Munich missed a lot of players, and I feel like if they had the fully fit squad, that's a different game. And so is the first leg. But PSG, they didn't have variety in the first leg. They didn't have variety yesterday. They didn't have Marquinhos yesterday as well. So they weren't really at their strongest. So they still have another way to go.
They've also experienced pain as well. The fact that they was in the final last year. Yeah. And I keep saying this. Every time a team has redemption to chase in the Champions League, they've been to the final. Liverpool happened with Karius. It's happened with Chelsea in the past as well. It's happened with
Bayern did it as well.
Bayern Munich, they lost to us and then came back and I think beat Dortmund. There's always that experience of being able to go to the mile, and that's what PSG done last season. I think to obviously take care of business in the semi-final first, but Chelsea fans are already licking their lips for a PSG Chelsea final just because of Tuchel, Thiago Silva, and all that connected there. This super chat, Ken Berry, just a bit off topic, but we'll get to it. How is TapinTobs going to deal with Harry Kane leaving?
We speak about it all the time. Right?
He'll go to Enfield Town instead, mate.
It's forever, man. As I said, Kane leaving. I'm not even going to spend time discussing this. Kane leaving, most Spurs fans are resigned to it. So it's not a thing about how Spurs going to deal with Kane leaving. It's more a case of how we're going to deal with the recruitment to replace Harry Kane. So Kane leaving is part of
Harry Abraham's
inevitable.
Nah, he's not. I'll take him back all day long, but I don't think he is good enough to be the number one striker. But I'm not sure if you've seen it as well, Matisse, but there was a video circulating around Joe Cole and Glenn Hoddle and them not discussing Chelsea, saying, Chelsea, they'll take Madrid over Liverpool and stuff like that. 360 put it on their Instagram, and a lot of people in the comments saying, typical English pundits, deluded, etc., etc. And whilst I do think Joe Cole was overstating the state that Madrid,
he went a bit.
He went a bit. I think Matisse is gone. Is that just me?
No, he's gone, mate.
For me as well.
He's gone. Yeah. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. Are you back, Matisse?
Yeah.
So they were I felt like they were overstating Madrid's quality, because Madrid have bounced back from their early struggles this season. I'm pretty sure they're top of La Liga now, and they just bopped Liverpool.
Top by 1 point.
Okay, yeah, sorry, but
It keeps changing those two. But Real Madrid have done a lot of catch up on a fair.
They've done a lot of catch up. They're not the same side that they were at the start of the season. So whilst I do think they need to give Real Madrid more credit, I don't think the premise of their point is wrong, that it's going to be a tie that Chelsea can look to and say, you know what, we can beat these guys. Because I think it's a 50-50. It's the same for Liverpool and Madrid now. It's a 50-50. Chelsea have enough quality to knock out Real Madrid, but same way Real Madrid have enough quality to knock out Chelsea. So it's going to be a case of which players turn up and which manager can outfox the other manager.
Yeah. It depends on which formation Chelsea play as well, because I watched the El Clasico the other night. Real Madrid,
they'll go with the same formation, I think.
Unbelievably good in that first half. Yeah, they literally ripped Barca. They were hanging on at the end, but that Vinicius, I don't particularly rate him that highly. In the last couple of games I've watched him against Liverpool and against Barcelona, he was unplayable, man, in both games. Yeah, and that's what you play a free at the back, they could potentially rip you down them wings, because if your wing backs are caught up high, they'll just say, "Yo, just stick Vinicius on halfway, innit? Don't come." That's what I was going to
say. Physically, we've been discussing this on Touch On as well. Physically, it seems like Real Madrid have found like another gear to go now. Like you got Valverde, who's come back. He's an energizer bunny with the ball. He doesn't stop grafting, and Vinicius gives them that unreal threat in transition. Like if you give Real Madrid too much spacing behind, they will punish you. Like Lee said, in the El Clasico, it was so easy for them to get in behind. Against Liverpool, so easy for them to get in behind. I don't think Tuchel will be as naive, but it's going to be interesting because you're going to want to control the ball. They're going to demand the balls, because let's be honest, they have way better technicians in midfield than you. So it's going to be an interesting game. I want Madrid to win, and I think Madrid can win as well, but I also understand that Chelsea can win. So
I think the better plan would be
if Madrid go through. We're definitely ruling out Liverpool. Then no.
I just said at the end if Madrid go through, but I think Madrid should go through. I don't think if Madrid don't go through tonight, that's a bottle job on their part.
There's no fans, man. They got no chance. Liverpool.
I can't see anything but a Madrid win, man. They got 3 goals. They got 2-goal advantage, and they have that threat in transition. They don't have to go. They don't have to come out and attack Liverpool. Liverpool are going to want all the ball. Liverpool are going to. We know Jurgen Klopp. He does not restrict that. He does not push back that high line for anybody, as we've seen this season. No matter who he's got in defense, he will keep playing that high line. So I expect Madrid to win, man.
Yeah, no, I do as well. I'd be shocked. Like Lee was just about to say, that the lack of fans at Anfield is the major reason for a lot of their comebacks in terms of creating that hostile atmosphere. Dortmund in the Europa League in Klopp's first few seasons, and then obviously the comeback against Barcelona as well. You need that crowd. No crowd, and I think the whole game changes for them. It's gonna be an interesting one. You know, if it is Real Madrid, most likely will be. I think. Like you said, that midfield, Kroos and Modric, that is where Chelsea, and Casemiro, that is where Chelsea really are going to have their work cut out. The rest of the team, you know, Vinicius is very hot and cold. I know he's playing well at the moment. Benzema is obviously their main man up front. Sergio Ramos, I think, he's just caught the disease, so we don't know what's going on with him as well. But yeah, that midfield battle is going to be nuts. But to turn the attention back to the Premier League, because I can't let Toby get away with not talking about that game against Manchester United. Listen, you're not even wearing the chicken ball hat. I'm disappointed for a start.
I'm going to go.
I can't find it. I'll wear it on my streams later on this week. I'll wear it on the Big Six on Friday.
Corey, I'm sure you got to see the game. Before I let Toby rant on it, because I'm sure that's what it will end up becoming. What do you make of Tottenham right now? Because the reliance,
I'm loving it.
It's nuts.
Good.
Yeah. I love it, mate. I love it. It's great. To be honest, I had to wrap up my post match because we won our game and obviously we're in the top 4, so I didn't really get a chance to see Tottenham struggle. But I did see the last. I saw the last couple. I saw the last couple of. Listen, Toby, I've got to enjoy it while it lasts, mate. I saw the last 15 minutes, and again, defensively, Toby said about every single week they're shocking. There's no identity there. They can't deal with it. Again, it's mostly the same side that Poch had. So again, like you got to look at Mourinho and say, what are you doing? Like, where are you going with this team? And yeah, all right. I thought Cavani, brilliant movement for their second goal. Do you know? I mean, United are a great side in principle in small spells, but Tottenham again. I mean, we talk about Heung-min Son. I'm sick and tired of that geezer, honestly. He gets this kind of like character that he's this nice guy. I'm telling you, he's not. He's absolutely not. Every time I see him, he's pulling off this and saying, and he's feeling sorry for himself. I know it's tough for him in the Tottenham side at the minute and they're not doing well, but just thought that whole decision anyway was a bit ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, again, I don't think you can rule out Tottenham necessarily because it's so tight. It's so tight between us and you lot and Liverpool and all of that. So you never know. They could pick up 2 wins. Kane gets a penalty, whatever. But again, you can see why Tottenham fans are frustrated because if you're not competing with Man United with the squad that they've got, then again it's failure. You're moving backwards. You're regressing. So I'll be honest. If you're a Tottenham fan, he's got to go. I think he just gets. I think it's a Levy thing, to be honest. From what I understand, he wants him in the job. He was the guy that brought him in. And he'll try and fall on his sword as much as possible. So I reckon he'll be there next season. But whether Kane will or not is a different matter. And I think if he pushes for a move, what can they do? Do you know what I mean? It's the same thing with Declan Rice. You know, we won't sell him. West Ham won't sell him. Or, you know, we may put a price tag on him of 80 mil. But if Declan says, I want to go to another club, then we're in a dodgy situation where we're going to have to relent. So, yeah, don't know what's going on with Tottenham in a minute, but they looked awful again.
Yeah, Toby, I mean, bro, talk to me, man. 3-1 defeat. Manchester United, we keep speaking about Man United. They're in second, and I still don't understand. I still don't understand it. Like, they don't play the best football, but they, you know, to be fair, Pogba was brilliant against you guys. You know, he got 2 assists, was really, like, he was on his game that match. And Man United just continue to get results. They're I think the most informed team in the league actually at the moment after Man City 2 defeats in the last 5. Obviously, they lost to Man United as well, and then Leeds as well. You went into this game hoping for a draw at max, but is this becoming a bit of a joke now in terms of just not even being able to compete at this point?
It's been a joke for months, bro. It's been a joke for months. And before I even get on to Spurs, I do think I get your point around like Man United when you see them second in the table and when you see them second in the table and you watch them play, like this doesn't look like the second best side in the league. But I think we need to stop saying this because they're second in the table. They've lost 4 matches this season, and 3 of those 4 losses were in their first 7 games. They've literally lost 1 match in like 5 months, like 4 or 5 months or something like that. Like we can say whatever we want to say about Man United. We can say whatever we want to say about Oli. More often than not, it's justified. But the one thing we can't say about Man United is that they're not a consistent side. Fair enough, they may not win every match week in, week out, but they rarely lose. And that's a really good trait to have in this league. We can talk about the draws, 9 draws, etc., but they rarely lose. And it's no coincidence that the sides who have lost the fewest games are right at the top of the table. So for me, we went from talking about Man United potentially finishing outside the top 4 to, oh, maybe they can finish 3rd, to now maybe they're in the title race, to maybe they're not in the title race, to now they've wrapped up 2nd. And let's be honest, they've wrapped up 2nd. So we have to, whatever we think of United, we have to give credit to Oli and we have to give credit to some of their players. But that being said, flipping hell, this team are a fucking shambles. They're a shambles. Some of the players are a shambles. The manager is a shambles. The whole lot is a shambles. As I said, it brings me joy that I don't have to speak about this team for two different matches a week now. It brings me joy because honestly, I just want the season to end. I want the manager to be sacked. I want us to reset and get rid of so many players, and I want the management at the top level to be much better in terms of their decision making with regards to when to keep players, which players to buy, which managers you get that actually fit the fucking philosophy of the club. Because honestly, it's getting boring seeing us this bad. We have a cup final in a week and a half, and no Spurs fans optimistic. Not one. This is our.
I still got to keep reminding you that anything can happen in a cup final.
No, bro, I'm tired of hearing that anything can happen. You know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen.
I don't know what's going to happen.
You know what's going to happen.
I really don't.
Happen. The fact that we have a cup final in a week and a half, and I felt more confident when Pochettino was in it 6 years ago with a much inferior squad against an equally strong team, tells you everything you need to know. We have the best striker in the league, arguably the best left winger in the league, if you want to talk about Jack Grealish, whatever. And as a Spurs fan, I'm going into this game thinking we got no chance. And I have every right to think that. So it tells you the situation we're in now. We can't contain teams. We can't control the ball. We can't put sustained pressure on the opposition. Unless a team literally opens their backside for us, yeah, and plays with no semblance of organization, we're dumbfounded, bro. So it's a mess.
But
it's a mess. It's been a mess.
You can always remember it's a final, and I think I know you're going through a hard time, so it's easy to forget that 90 minutes in football, anything can happen. That's why we follow this sport. And I think I'm not even on a wind-up thing, right? I think you're forgetting that anything can happen, and I mean anything. Worse teams than you have gone to a final and won. And I'm not saying it's gonna, like bring your season, shed a new light on your season or change your mood, but lifting a trophy at Wembley can bring a smile to anyone's face, even you right now.
It's not going to happen. Of course it can. I put out my first Twitter voice thingy, my Bob, yesterday, saying I'm in. Was that the
2 minute long one? Was that the 2 minute long one?
Yeah. I was saying I don't even want to apply for a ticket. And guess what I did yesterday evening? Me and my friend, we applied for a ticket because in the end of the day, it's a cup final. Like, I want to be positive about this game, but I just can't be. I can't be positive. I can't look at what I'm seeing week in, week out, and then think, oh, we're just gonna flick a switch in the final, and it's all gonna be hunky dory. And we're going up against a side who have won this cup 3 years on the trot. They smashed Arsenal 3-0 3 years ago. They beat Chelsea on penalties the year after that, and they beat Man City 2-1 last year. So teams worse than us have lost. Teams as good as us have lost. Teams that claim to be better than us have lost. So why am I giving this version of Spurs a chance to beat this team in the final that are top of the league?
I think when you've got Harry Kane and Son, you've always got a chance, is what I would say.
So then why are we not winning league matches?
Well, the league is a long season. I don't know. Maybe the motivation is not there from the whole squad. I don't know if Mourinho can't get them up for the games anymore. I don't know.
Can I just say, when we beat Chelsea last season in the cup final, nobody gave us a prayer. When we beat Chelsea in 2017 in the cup final, I was at that final. And I'm going up the escalator, and it was literally like Arsenal fans everywhere. Not a single Arsenal fan gave us a prayer. They were the record-breaking champions, Chelsea, at that point, for the most wins at that particular point. Yeah, obviously, I think City have taken over that, or Liverpool, or both. But nobody gave us a prayer. Every Chelsea fan, Chelsea's fan park at Wembley, had an open-top bus, and they were throwing celery at us. Yeah, like our fam, they just kept circling around celery. Yeah, and they were giving all that one. Yeah, literally, they were so cocky with it. Yeah, and we had Mertesacker at centre back that day, and I was like, really? We looked at our team. I was like, other than Alexis, what have we really got in that team? And we were absolutely brilliant. Yeah, and we flipped that switch. Yeah, and I think that you can win it. Listen, Wigan beat Man City in a cup final, man. Wigan, like anything can happen, mate. We've beaten City last season in a cup semi-final to get to the final to then beat Chelsea. So, and we were shocking last season. We finished 8th. We were worse last season than you've been this season. Yeah, and that's why you have a chance. Anything can happen, man. It's Wembley, and yeah, it's mad. I personally think you're going to stink out Wembley, rather than you're going to win it. I really do. I hope you don't.
You've got money on it, so yeah, I know you hope you don't. It's funny because you're an Arsenal fan. You've got 50 quid on Tottenham winning, and Tobi supports them. He's got 50 quid on them not winning. It's the most backwards shit I've ever seen.
The only reason I've put that bet on with him, is the fact it's Jose Mourinho. They've got Kane and Son, like you said, Matisse.
Tobi just shakes his head immediately hearing that.
And it's a cup final. Literally anything can happen in a cup final.
I hope you're right.
It normally does.
I hope you're right, but I have no confidence. I hope you're right. I don't see Eric Dyer putting in this monster class performance in the final if he's selected. I don't see Davinson Sanchez having a spotless game when there's so much pressure on him for 90 minutes. I don't see
Mertesacker hadn't kicked a ball all season and putting a man at a match display in the final.
Okay, fair, you're right.
Can happen, man.
Yeah,
anything can happen. And when you've got Kane and you've got Son, we had Ramsey and we had Alexis Sanchez. That was pretty much it. Ozil actually played very well that day. The whole team was sick that day against Chelsea, but it was a flawless performance and it was the last chance.
Yeah, but
the same with you lot this time,
I
right?
just want to say this though. Like those two FA Cups, those two FA Cups. Like, fair enough, the odds were stacked against you, but at least you had some inspiration heading into that. Because in both those FA Cup finals, you put in some ridiculous displays against Man City in the semi-finals. I literally have nothing to cling on to over the last 3-4 months to suggest to me that Spurs are going to turn this performance out of nowhere. I don't have anything to cling on to. People are telling me about a Man City result that we had like 5 months ago against out of sorts Man City side who didn't have several players starting, where we still had this threat of a counter-attack and Man City was susceptible to the counter-attack. I'm just dealing, for me, I'm not even, I'm normally an emotional person when it comes to football, but for this game, I'm dealing in facts. I'm dealing with what's right in front of me, what I've seen over the last couple of months from either side, what I'm seeing from the managers.
Have you forgotten they lost to Leeds United at the weekend?
Yeah, they did lose to Leeds.
There you go then. That in itself gives you a chance. They can lose.
I'm not saying they can't lose. I'm saying in our current state, we can't beat them. I'm not saying they can't lose. I'm saying the way we're playing right now, we cannot beat them. That's what I'm saying. It's not a thing about Man City or this magnificent. It's a thing that Spurs are so bad right now.
I think the fact that you guys are longing for a trophy, for me, ups your chances, because I know these guys are playing like absolute dog shit, but Mourinho would love nothing more than to walk out of Tottenham after all that's happened and still be able to quote unquote call himself a success because he's won a trophy. If he wins that cup, he is going to absolutely milk the shit out of it. Because I know
It makes me
when
sick.
he came to Stamford Bridge,
It makes me
holding
sick.
up fingers and all this shit. He is going to milk it. He's going to be like,
okay,
I've won
let me
the
ask
first
Tobi a
cup
question, yeah?
since 2007.
Would you rather
8,
Jose
whatever.
gets sacked and Jose gets sacked and not win the cup, or win the cup and Jose stays?
Win the cup and he stays, but I would hope that he'd get sacked like a few months later after he
I swear.
You and Lee are so alike with your managers at this point. It's brilliant, honestly. It really is.
That was tough for me. That was tough for me.
Yeah,
But
I saw you thinking about it.
yeah, I can never. I can never
want to get clipped. That's what it was.
I want the team to lose. I want to win. I want to win a cup, but I want him out. So yeah, it was a tough question.
It's mad. Listen, it's fun for me to watch. I think Corey as well, because things are going very well for us, and obviously, you know, Lee is never going to give Arsenal any credit for a win against Sheffield United, regardless of what the hell just happened there. Your fate really lies on that game tomorrow against Slavia Prague. Like I said, if he doesn't win that, if Tobi's waiting,
Bruv, I'm waiting, man. I'm waiting, yo.
If he doesn't win that, Lee, surely there is going to be a big change in the atmosphere in the fan base, because you spoke about it earlier in terms of the fan base being, I guess it looks split enough. A lot of people saying trust the process, give him time. There are quite a few people that are saying Arteta out. There's a lot in this chat. There's Troops, who are obviously quite big voices in your Arsenal fan base. If he loses against Slavia Prague and you don't progress, which by the way is not out of the question. You conceded an away goal at the Emirates, so you're not even in a good position. You have to score going into that game immediately. You're 0-0 and you're out. If he loses that game and you're out of all competitions in mid-February, I'm sorry, mid-April. If it was mid-February, fuck me, mid-April. what happens then? Surely he's gone. But what I want to ask you is, do you trust this board or trust them to sack him after that?
That's a good question, because I see a lot of people all the time that are trusting the process say to me, but if we sack him, would you trust the board to recruit the next man properly? My reply to them every time is, you're trusting them with a process, mate. Yeah, so you can't have it both ways. The board, it's just the whole club stinks, like literally stinks. The fan base is probably still 75% Arteta in, from what I see online. They lulled up mediocre players. They are after a couple of good games. Obviously, this week it's Granit Xhaka's turn, and Rob Holding. Oh, he's not. We've had 8 clean sheets in a row when Rob Holding starts games. Who gives a shit? Go and have a look at the teams we played. Only Man United is a decent team out of them 8 or 9 teams. Yeah, the rest are all like shit down the bottom. If he don't win or we get knocked out, I expect him sacked on Friday, or at least sacked on the plane on the way back and announced on Friday. Yeah, because it ain't good enough, mate. And they're 39 unbeaten. Like, they're relentless. They just slapped up their local rivals at the weekend to go 17 points clear of them. Yeah. Like, they're not an easy team. I don't know if fans are allowed in the ground. I don't know, but it's probably best if they're not for us, because that would be hostile as fuck, man. Like, the foreign fans are mad. They're crazy, bruv. But I don't know. I don't know if they're allowed. But I don't put my trust in this manager to pick the team required to beat them tomorrow. And when you say we have to score a goal, we have to score twice, really, because I think we'll concede. And if we concede in the final, it's going extra time. So we then need to score again, unless it's going penalties, and then it's a lottery. So Martinelli should start. He probably won't. It'll be Willian or Aubameyang. Pepe should start. He probably won't. Aubameyang or Willian a start either side, or he'll go with Smith Rowe if he makes it. I don't think he's going to make it, but I don't know. Or he'll go with what's his name? But then we've got a problem in defense, because we haven't got a left back, so it'll probably be Granit Xhaka at left back. We've got David Luiz, who's been our best centre back, albeit that ain't nothing to sing and dance about. He's average.
Really isn't. Is Gabriel not being your best? No.
Say again.
Gabriel not being your best centre back this season? Would you say? No.
You don't think so?
I think he has
started off all right. But no.
Yeah,
David Luiz has been our best centre back for me. Last season, funny enough, Mustafi was our best centre back. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The bar's low. Do you know what I mean? I could be our best centre back. So yeah, we've got the centre back. I don't know what we're going to do there. Right back, what do we do there? Probably Becky B, but then he's played Chambers a couple of times. We could go with Cedric at left back. I don't know, mate. I really don't know. Cedric was on the bench at the weekend, so maybe he's going to go with Bellerin and Cedric, and then go with Gabriel and Holding, perhaps. Midfield, he'll put Xhaka back in there. I'm not confident one bit that we're going through, if I'm honest. They're a decent team, and I knew they were when we got them. I said they play like Leeds United. They press, they run around, quick passing and move. So yeah, I'm not confident.
Okay, I have to ask you a question, right? That you just asked Toby then. What would you take? Winning the Europa League and him staying?
Well, I'm not going to bottle it like Toby. I'll just tell you outright, bro. I'll just get rid of him.
You wouldn't take the Europa League?
No, get rid of him. I want him sacked. I'd rather him win it. I'd rather us win it and sack him straight away. But I know that they won't, so sack him. Yeah, at the end of the day, I like this competition. Yeah, I do. And I've said that if we get in Champions League, we're getting piped every week. And I've said this for years, yeah, because we don't do what's required to go out there as a football club. We've sold some of our decent, or loaned out some of our decent players. Guendouzi walks in this team. Yeah. The goalkeeper at Aston Villa, how the fuck, whoever authorised that deal should be in jail, bruv. It's a disgrace. Yeah,
it's funny though, because when that deal happened, everybody was quite happy with Leno, and now suddenly everybody's regretting it.
Bro, mate, Leno needs to have coaching on how to save a ball, bruv, because man's doing Supermans every week. He's trying to punch everything.
Martinez was the informed keeper. I remember it quite well.
There you go. And then this manager said that he ain't number one. He said Leno's my number one. So listen, I would look at the end of the day, he won the FA Cup and our fans got all excited and giddy about it. Yeah. And that has given him a free pass for another whole season. This guy has had 16 months with no pressure on him at all from our fans. So, wow, if we win the Europa League, great, fantastic. I'd love it. I'm one of the few people that I see online that rates this competition. Yeah. I don't want to go in the Champions League and get hammered every fucking week. Yeah. At least we have a chance to win it. But if it was a choice to sack Arteta right now and not win it, yeah, or keep him and win it, but we're going to keep him for next season, sack him.
Shit, I never thought I'd hear that. I thought I was making
but this is the thing, yeah. Short-term pain, yeah, for the long-term future of this football club. This guy is shit, bruv. He ain't good enough. And if I'm not saying that it's going to happen, obviously, it ain't. But if I was in charge, I would have sacked him fucking time ago. Yeah, the ideal scenario would be win it and then sack him straight away, because then we can go and get a manager who can compete in the Champions League. Because this guy will have his pants pulled down, man. He's had his pants pulled down by Burnley, bruv. Yeah.
I have to.
Do you know what I'm saying?
We've spoken about this before, just as the final topic, and I want to get everyone's thoughts on it. But we've spoken about this before in terms of West Ham needing to finish maybe Champions League to keep a Declan Rice or to get a Jesse Lingard. We've spoken about Harry Kane and Son at Tottenham. Arsenal, we haven't spoken about you guys. You've got a few players that clubs will look at if you aren't where you should be, which is at least in Europe, right? Me and Tobs always say this on the Big Six. Your team should be minimum. And this is even wild for me even saying it. But you should be minimum qualifying for the Europa League via the Premier League. And that in itself is fucking embarrassing. But that is the bare minimum you should be getting. The fact that you're not even getting that.
I don't think it's minimum, Matisse, but because I think Europa League is 5th and 6th spots, but they should be competing. Like you mean,
should be competing for the spot
at the bare minimum. Yeah, 100%. That should be the base. That should even be the base objective, and then the primary objective is to try and get into the top four.
Totally disagree. The minimum should be qualifying for Champions League. Minimum. Yeah, and you guys are going to
minimum. Yeah, but I'm saying your squad quality.
Yeah.
We're saying your squad quality.
Our squad quality is better than the team that are sat fourth. No disrespect to West Ham and Corey and that, but our squad quality is better than theirs.
Yeah, it is.
Our squad.
Corey, whose squad are you taking, Corey?
I think I'm taking ours, obviously, but I think our whole defense is better.
No, it isn't.
Defensive midfielders are better.
No way.
How is the whole defense?
Let's go.
No, wait. I'll caveat.
Fabianski or Leno? Who are you taking? Shit. I'm taking Leno.
Fabianski is
no.
Corey, state your case, Corey. I'm interested.
You've not because there's not watching the season. He doesn't make any errors. He doesn't make any errors. He saved us again on Sunday.
Yes, he does make errors. Fabianski makes errors, bro. Yes, he does.
In the past, no, he does. For West Ham, he's made so few.
There's more leadership and mentality in Declan Rice and Noble alone than that whole Arsenal squad. That's something that you can't quantify.
So you're saying your left back Cresswell, who I actually think is a good player.
I was about to say this, Lee. To be fair, you can have Reguilon and you can have.
We're going to do a West Ham. All right, we're going to do a West Ham.
Okay, so you're saying what's his name? Dawson, is it? Dawson? You're saying
I'll take Dawson or Ogbonna over Arsenal's and Spurs', 100% this season.
You're not taking Dawson over David Luiz. Impossible.
I am. I've watched him play. I've watched him play since he's come in.
I've seen Dawson scored 2 own goals in 2 games, bro.
Yeah. But he scored 5 goals for West Ham. This is what happens. This is what happens when West Ham start piping up.
I know Craig Dawson's
playing well. I'm with you.
I know Craig Dawson's coming and he's made a big impact. Listen,
he's
played very well for West Ham. But if I had a choice of David Luiz or Craig Dawson,
this is the problem. This is the problem. He's played for West Ham, but West Ham are fourth. So
he's played for West Ham. It's because I've watched him throughout the years as a Premier League defender, and he's not good enough.
This season, I would say
this season he's been good. But you're saying. We're saying squad. Which squad is better? It's not which squads. We know your squad's performing better, but we're saying which squad is better man for man. Arsenal's is better than yours man for man. Why are we debating this? Arsenal's is better than your squad man for man. It's not a debate.
The only area, right? Listen,
because it's not man for man. Compare your squads.
Yeah.
Your squad's not.
David Luiz is better than Dawson. I fucking hate David Luiz, mate. I can't stand David Luiz. Gabriel is better than Dawson. But Dawson's having a wicked season. Yeah.
I'll take Ogbonna. Ogbonna for me walks into Arsenal and Spurs. He does. He just does. He's a best performing centre back.
Ogbonna is better than Dyer. Ogbonna is probably better than Sanchez.
I still think he walks in. I still think if you're going by that, Ogbonna's been the best centre back
than Holding and Marie. But I ain't seen enough of Marie. Like, he's hardly played. So is he better than Gabriel? I don't know. Like, we'll see next season. It's only been a year.
Let's move on to midfield.
They batter us. Yeah, apart from Thomas Partey, their midfield wins.
Yeah. Okay. So Thomas Partey. So let's say you play
Rice, Partey.
Souček and Rice are one of the best 2 defensive midfielders in the league. The partnerships easy.
Rice. I think Rice and Partey would be my base. Souček is no. Listen, before you attack me, Souček, I think he's good. I think he's diligent at his job and he's a good goal threat from set pieces. But as a midfielder, in terms of his ability to progress the ball and in terms of his ability to break up play, I don't think he is that good. I'm not saying he's bad, but I don't think he's that good. As I said, Souček is a diligent midfielder who sticks to his task. He's a rock in the middle. But in terms of if I check his tackling stats in comparison to the best defensive midfielders, he can't compete. If I check his ball progression stats to the best midfielders, he can't compete. The only thing he competes in is literally the goals, which are crucial, and his consistency to give you like a 7 out of 10 performance. Like, he's reliable at what he does best. But I think his quality as a player for me is capped. I'm not sure if you get what I'm saying here, but I feel like what I'm saying here makes sense. And people call Souček a box-to-box midfielder. I don't think they know what a box-to-box midfielder means. He's not a box-to-box midfielder. Scoring from set pieces does not make you a box-to-box midfielder. A box-to-box midfielder is literally running lengths of the pitch. That is not Souček. So when people call this guy a box-to-box midfielder, it astounds me. He's not a box-to-box midfielder.
All right. Cool, man.
Corey, your team's getting dragged here.
No, it's fine. Look, we're highest placed in all these teams, apart from
but you said your squad is better than Arsenal's squad, which is factually incorrect. So we've just ripped that apart. Now let's go to the. We didn't even get into the right back. No, we don't need to. You're right back. You're better at right back than any of our right backs.
Fine. I'm just making sure we've done the diligence on it. You can have Partey with Rice.
Thomas Partey's in, yeah? And I agree. Yeah. I agree. I like Souček. I think he's a decent player, but I don't know. Maybe Rice and Partey. Jesse Lingard walks into that as a floating number 10 over Smith Rowe and Odegaard, based on performances since he's been there. Yeah, because he's outscored all of them, all of our midfielders. Yeah, so based on that, he's in. Yeah, right wing. Who are you putting right wing? Jared Bowen. You're going to say Bowen, bruv. Bowen ain't even on the same level as Pepe, bruv.
But look, this season, what's Pepe done? He's had a couple of goals. He's turned up.
He's bagged about 12 goals.
Bowen maybe not
second top goal scorer or third top goal scorer.
Bowen can chat to Pepe. Come on.
What are you talking about? Listen, bro, man was sat on the bench against Leicester the other day, yeah? Right? Comes on and scores. Well done. Or was it Leicester or Wolves, whoever the fuck it was? He scored when Antonio went off, yeah? Great finish, first touch in that, yeah? Jared Bowen's a quality footballer. I like Jared Bowen. We were linked to Jared Bowen. But if I'm picking Jared Bowen or Pepe, that's a non-contest, mate. Pepe all day long. Pepe can play left, he can play right.
You can't wait until
play striker.
Hopefully, if he stays fit,
Pepe has more.
I'll be back.
Pepe has more technical quality than Bowen, but Bowen.
Okay, I'll tell you what then. Let's just do away with Pepe then. Yeah, let's just take Pepe out the equation. Yeah, Saka or Bowen. Saka or Bowen.
Saka, I'm choosing Saka.
Yeah, Saka. Yeah, you can have Saka. No problem. You can have Saka.
Left hand.
Look at Bowen's output, man. Bowen's output this season over Pepe's.
Look at Pepe's output. His output's better than Bowen's.
I don't think
per 90 or actually this season.
Goals and assists this season, Pepe has outperformed Bowen.
Are you talking about in all
I think he is.
Fact. Pepe's had about 16 goal and assist contributions this season. Bowen ain't on that.
Pepe's had
check the stats.
And half of them have been against
he loves Pepe.
And FC Northern Ireland, basically.
And listen, don't talk to me about
this is what I was saying to Lee. This is what I was saying to Lee in this Pulisic and Pepe comparison. Look
at man giving it about they're against this team, bruv. FC Wi-Fi password knocked you the fuck out, bruv. Yeah, sit like that.
Zagreb, and you're gonna get knocked out by Slavia Prague. So Nicolas Pepe this season has scored. He scored 9 goals, and he's got 4 assists in 30 appearances, which is the numbers are okay. Numbers are okay in it, but he cost.
Now look at the minutes he's played. Look at the minutes he's played. Then not the games.
So he's played like 1,233 minutes in the league.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Jared Bowen.
Is that comps? Is that all comps for Pepe?
What's that?
Yeah. 8 goals, 5 assists. So they're level.
I'm not having that. I'm not having Pepe stat. I'm not gonna lie. Pepe stat padded.
No. Jared Bowen. I'm sure he's got more league goals. Sure.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
But overall, they're there or thereabouts the same. Yeah, 9 and 4.
But overall, Jared Bowen's doing it in the Premier League though, not against plumbers on a Thursday.
Not against plumbers.
Jared Bowen's playing more minutes. Jared Bowen starts every week most weeks. Pepe sits on the bench and comes on for 10 minutes here and there and affects the game.
I hear that. Pepe needs more starts, but I've also
and now if you're this is the funny thing, yeah?
and stink out the joint.
There's a lot of disagreeing in the chat.
You lot are all saying you wouldn't take Pepe, but you'd all take Saka, who's got worse output than both of them.
Saka's just I'm not looking at
class.
I don't just look at stats.
Saka is class based on the fact
Saka's a more intelligent player than
I'm looking at
class based on the fact that he's a kid, yeah, and he's massively hyped because he's scored goals and he's playing for Arsenal at a young age.
Goals, though, it's not just scoring goals.
I know that, but what I'm saying is Saka's been shit, by the way, for the last 3 months. Yeah, since Christmas, right, like January time, he's fallen off. And I don't necessarily blame him. I think he's been overplayed a little bit in certain games. Yeah, Saka and Pepe, you could have a debate on either of them. Yeah, me personally, man said Bowen. Look at, bruv, take this Chelsea.
I actually don't. I feel like Pepe footballing talent is better than Bowen. Like some of the things that Pepe can do with a ball, Bowen can't do. That one is a fact, and I'll happily argue that anyone. Pepe has more technical quality than Bowen, but Bowen is just he's just a better functional player now.
That comment that said Bowen don't start games, he started 26 out of 31 appearances. What the fuck is he chatting about? What are you chatting about, bruv? Man's had 5 appearances all season.
But Pepe just can't do it consistently in this league. I know he needs to get more game time, but
but this is the thing. He doesn't do it consistently in the league because he don't consistently get played because the manager's a clown. Yeah, it starts this season. Yeah, it starts this season. Yeah, in the Premier League. Where is it? Premier League. Yeah, starting 11, 12.
Yeah, Tottenham fan Henry Wright coming in to back it up for the
substitute appearances 11. Yeah. Come on, man. How can Nicola Pepe play half of the games? In fact, less than half the starts. He's got 14 starts less than Jared Bowen and scored 1 goal more. 2 goals less than him in the league.
3 goals less.
3 goals less. Okay, well, he started 14 games less, so his output's miles better then, isn't it?
Well, Pepe's in a better team as well, seeing as we just came to that.
Yeah, but he ain't in a better team this season. He's in a better squad. But he's not in a better team this season on form. Yeah, and that's my point. Then if you go to the left-hand side, yeah, your left side is...
Someone just said as well,
you can have Saka, mate.
Penalties, isn't he? Did he take 2
penalties? Pepe and Saka.
Nah, just do one with the Pepe stuff. Like,
Pepe
I can't argue. I can't argue about a 4 hours of Ben Rama. I can't because all the work rate of football is
overrated.
I think you know what it is. I think West Ham. You know what it is with West Ham. West Ham have a lot of decent and even good, like functional players in the league. Like they're not like world beater players, but they're players who will put in consistent and reliable performances in this league.
They're 7 out of 10.
But this is what I'm saying. But the minute you tell these players to step up a level, I know they're competing for top 4 now. No, it's the truth. I know they're competing for top 4 now. But I'm actually telling you, take some of these players out and put them in some of these teams where there is more pressure, where there is more pressure to play your game, where teams, with all due respect, Corey, teams set up against Arsenal, Chelsea, Spurs, United, etc., differently to how they set up against West Ham. I'm telling you, take some of these players out and put them in some of these better teams with more expectation and more to think about on a football pitch. And I think that's where you'll see their true weight in gold. I'm not trying to shit on these West Ham players.
I can't buy the Arsenal argument because they're below 10th. They've been lower table all season. I don't believe we went out there against Arsenal and
guys, I need to go. I've got a project call.
We're gonna wrap up soon.
Yeah.
I need to bounce.
Striker Mikel Antonio, lovely.
Safe striker
Antonio.
Well, listen,
I'm not the midget's best fan, but Lacazette's going up front, bruv.
Over
it was some good finishing against Sheffield United there as well. I didn't expect that argument to come out of there.
It's a good argument, but this is the thing, to Jared Bowen. I like Jared Bowen. He smashed it at Hull, man. We were linked to him. I was like, I'll take him. I think he's good. But when you look at, he started 26 out of 31 appearances, and then Nicola Pepe started 12 out of 26. Yeah, and they're there or thereabouts the same figures. Yeah, like, come on. And
the chat is extremely split, and a lot of people did go for Bowen. There's few people spamming Pepe. I was not expecting that to come. But
People just
do you know what? It's something
Pepe off because he cost 72 million quid. It's the same with Shai Havertz, bruv. It's the same with Harry Maguire. Yeah,
can't call him Shai this week. He's been very loud.
He turned into Bergkamp the other night.
You guys are just lucky. You and Toby are lucky I didn't bring up Pulisic this week. That's all I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? I kind of left it.
Don't worry, he'll be on the injury bed again soon, bruv.
I'm waiting for him to build up a bit more form. If this is post-lockdown 2.0, I'll wait for him to keep leveling up, and then I'll bring him up in a couple of weeks. The last two super chats were from C. Matisse's bald head has better output than Pepe, and Henry Wright is saying even Lucas has been better than Pepe this season. So I don't know. Maybe
based on what? Pepe. No, I'm sorry. Listen, based on what? Yeah,
I don't think there's no way Henry's serious. There's no way Lucas has been.
You're supposed to score goals, right? You're supposed to score goals, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Nicola Pepe, 80 appearances overall for Arsenal, has scored 17 goals, 14 assists. Yeah. I haven't got the minutes to hand. I'll have a look after the show, yeah? But if you actually break down how many starts he's had out of them 80 appearances, it's probably less than half. Yeah, to bag 17 goals and 14 assists when you're sat on the bench and you're coming off. Against Sheffield United earlier in the season, man come off the bench and bag the winner. Yeah, he bags the winner in certain games. Bruv, he scores goals, yeah? And if he played the amount of games from the beginning that Gerard Bowen has played or other players in the league have played, he would bag 20 goals. I'm adamant of that.
You've invested stocks in Pepe like I've invested stocks in Pulisic, so. I've invested
I just don't get the hate for a player, yeah, that and I do get it from Arsenal fans, because if he starts, it means Saka ain't playing. Yeah, so I get it. And our fans just fucking... Saka's a good footballer, really good footballer. He's massively fallen off in the last 3 months. Yeah, but when he's on it, he can do so many special things. Yeah, but you have to manage a player like that properly because he's young. Yeah, Pepe's 24 years old. Yeah, he should be playing week in, week out.
He's only 24.
Yeah,
he's going to get that young. Fair play.
Yeah, he's going to get sold at some point. He's going to go on to another club and he's going to fucking smash it because they'll play him every week. Yeah, it's pathetic, man. People can say that he's not consistent. That's because he consistently sits on the bench because the manager's a fraud.
Reese with the final super chat before we wrap up. Pepe is trash for 72 million. Leeds sort it out. I feel like they're trying to trigger you. Like I said, I'm building up the Pepe Pulisic debate again. I'm building it up. We're waiting because there were certain things said about certain Pulisic a month ago, but it's too early. I can't bring it back. Let me just let my American Captain America build up a bit more form, stay injury free. And hopefully, if he ends this season well, much like he did last season, then obviously I'll have a stronger debate going into.
Right, Pepe's 25, by the way.
Is he? Okay, right. Yeah. So he's a bit older. It's been a great show. We touched on everything: Champions League night, touched on the Champions League race, and everything in between. Corey, let people know where they can find you. Links in the description, bro.
Yeah, West Ham Way on YouTube, and then just Corey Kemp on Twitter, mate.
Love that. Yeah, links are in the description, people. And Lee, bro, let them know where they can find you. It's been a mad show.
OnlyFans. Lee Gunner on YouTube. Started a new show last night as well. I'm going to be doing it again as soon as the game's finished tonight. Video phone-in show. Yeah, so like people can jump on camera like this and have their 90 seconds each. They got 90 seconds each to spit their talk about the game. So that'll be at 10 o'clock tonight. So make sure you come and check that out. I'll be dropping a preview for the game. I'll be streaming that at 6. Lee Gunner 82 on Twitter and Insta, and Switch and Lee Gunner AFC on Facebook. Love that,
guys. Make sure you smash the stream. Make sure you smash the video with a like. I know you guys love this series, this weekly show. Make sure you subscribe if you're new as well. And we'll be back tomorrow. All you can eat Chelsea at 11 a.m. To discuss. Obviously, we have big game coming up in Man City in the semi-final of the FA Cup, and also we'll probably touch on a bit of Porto as well. But Porto, that game was very much shithousery on a stick. Do you know what I mean? It was something that you just do, get it over with, and get out. So we'll definitely be touching on Man City and Chelsea tomorrow at 11 a.m. Apart from that, thanks so much, guys, for joining us in the chat. We had over 1,000 of you in here in a bit, and we'll see you guys next week. I love it.